Hey, and we are live. Awesome. So thank you very much for tuning in. If you saw my post on Facebook or Instagram, or if you've gotten a notification on YouTube, thank you very much for joining me today. This video and stream, this is also my first time doing YouTube stream, so it can only get better from here really, so we'll get better, trust me. Yeah, thank you very much for joining in. If you are a returning subscriber watching a video, thank you for watching, and I'd really like to hear down in the comment section where you'd like to see these videos go, and this sort of more intimate way of me communicating with you guys. So I think it'll be really cool. Today, if you've read the description, I will be doing a shaving video test. I'll move my camera a little bit because of that reflection. Done. I'm going to be doing a shaving video with a cutthroat razor that I made in a previous video on YouTube, and it's been made from a carbon steel Sheffield file. So I forged this guy. I'll give you a quick look at it. I forged this guy, shaped it, hollow ground it. It's got a really wonderful polish on it. You can see that there in the reflection. The wood that I use is a burl wood that I got from the Australian Bladesmith Symposium. I have no idea what it is, but it's really pretty, if you can see that. It looks absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, we'll get into it really. The first real step when you're getting into razor shaving and cutting and all of the above is you're going to need some equipment. You're going to need this guy, the cutthroat razor, and you're going to need a couple of other accessories as well to make the job easier for you to do. Make sure that this is really nice to shave with. The products that I'm using or going to be recommending are a shave bowl with some shave soap in it. The shave soap I get is from a local supplier called Luscious Lambert, and they do some really awesome shave soap. So I'd suggest you should check those guys out. And also from the same supplier, they sell these wonderful little bore brushes. So they're really soft. You can see how soft the bristles are. They're really nice. So you're going to need this guy. You're going to need the shave soap. You're going to need the razor. And you're going to need a strop, which is what I've got attached to my towel rail at the moment. So this is in case I need to strop the razor while I'm stropping or while I'm shaving. This is a really good way to make sure that it's nice and sharp and it's going to cut really efficiently and effectively. So, what to do first? You want to make sure that your beard is soaked. Now this is the I can't stress it enough, this is the most important step for using a cutthroat razor and shaving with one. It's not about how sharp the razor is, it's about how well your facial hair and your beard is soaked with water, because the water will allow the razor to cut more easily. It's like if you think about cutting down a tree, you always cut down a tree when it's wet. If you cut into a really dry tree, it's going to be a really tough time for the edge retention on the axe or whatever you're cutting with. Anyway, terrible analogy, but the idea is that you want to make sure that it's wet so that it helps cut through, don't know why I'm doing that, it helps cut through the hair better. So what I'm going to be doing is I've got this towel here, and I'm going to be wetting my face with some hot water. The hot water, I've already done this before the stream, but I want to be able to do this guy again, and this just makes sure that it's nice and well soaked. So I'm just going to be slowly wetting my beard again. I've had other people suggest using like conditioner and things like that before you use the shave soap to get this nice and wet and nice and soft. So yeah, that's really the plan. Getting this, you can also use like a really large towel with hot water if it was like boiling water, and cover your entire bottom half of your face and let that soak as well. That's another way of doing it. I generally just use a warm flannel and apply the water directly and just kind of squeeze it onto my face a little bit. Probably a slightly messier method, but this works really well for me. So yeah, if you've just joined the stream, thank you very much for watching. And yeah, just getting the preparation for the razor. I'm wetting my face, making sure that everything is nice and soaked, because as I said just before, the idea is that when the facial hair is wet, it's easier for the razor to cut. And I just used a terrible kind of an analogy before. When you cut down a tree, you are cutting into usually a wet tree, which is if it's a dry tree, it's going to be a lot harder to chop down. So I'm nearly done with this. The next stage is to start applying the shave soap, and you want to be quite generous with this as well. You want to use lots of water, lots of soap. Let's dry my hands really quickly. So I'm going to be using my little bowl. There's a ceramic bowl with some shave soap. So I'm going to be wetting my brush, and then it's going to be sort of lathered up into the in the brush. Sorry, in the bowl. So while I lather it up, it kind of builds kind of like a nice foamy consistency. So I want to keep doing that. It's hard to see on the angle. I want to keep doing this guy, keep doing this, and then you can see that consistency starts to thicken up a little bit more. Now you want to work in a small circular motion and apply that soap really thoroughly on your beard and on your skin. I like to work in circles because it helps the brush easily get into nooks and crannies underneath the skin. It's not really worth just brushing it like that because it's not going to do the work. So I want to come through and apply that quite thoroughly. And again, this is quite important. This is probably second to important compared to the how soft the hair needs to be. But really take your time with the wetting of your beard and keeping that nice and wet. If you are unsure of recommendations, there's a lot of other YouTube videos out there on how to use a cutthroat razor as well. I'd recommend soaking your beard for around 15 minutes or so. If you've got around 15 minutes of soak time, that really gets enough water into that beard and gets it really easy to cut. So but yeah, some people do it longer, some people use all sorts of special products to do so. I really try to promote the New Zealand products and obviously my own razors as well, just to go to show that it can be used. Pardon me. You can go to show that it's been being used, and we're sourcing the stuff from the country as well. So yeah, and if you're a returning subscriber, thanks very much for tuning in. And if you or if you are new to this channel, this is Stackhouse Knives, and this is my first live stream, and it's only going to get better from here. This is my first live stream on shaving. So the idea is that I'm going to be shaving with my cutthroat razor that I made in a previous video on YouTube, and that's the razor there if you haven't seen it yet and if you just logged in. Once I've finished lathering this up, it does take a while, so I really appreciate your patience with that. The idea is that I really want to make sure that this is nice and wet and soaked, because this is really important. And yeah, you can get razors that are made from all sorts of materials. I chose to make it from a really old piece of steel. It was a Sheffield engineer's file, and that's really good steel. But you can get razors that are stainless steel and carbon steel and all sorts of other stuff like that. But I just want to get into this prep work first. Hang on. Okay. There. Okay, that's all the preparation done. The idea is now I've got lots of soap on my face. I've got a nice sort of white beard now, it's great. And I'm going to be starting to use the razor. When you're working with these guys, people do suggest all sorts of angles, and these guys are really sharp. So when you're using them, what I like to do is get my thumb on the inside of this part of the razor, and then my other 3 fingers, or 2 fingers for that matter, on the back of the spine, and then my other finger, whether it be my pinky or my second finger, to go on the other part of the tang. This gives you a really good amount of control, and sometimes even if I'm cutting, I'll use just the 2 fingers, but as long as you've got this dexterity here, you've got a lot of control with that guy. So the idea of this guy is we really want to make sure that the beard is soaked. We've got enough soap on there. So now the plan is to, I might go on this side so you can see, is just to stretch the skin And it's kind of really awkward when you've got glasses on as well. But the idea is that you just want to take your time, really slowly get that beard off. And because I've got a really long beard and it's a lot of long straggly hair, it really gets tricky when you're trying to do long strokes. So I try to take short strokes first and get the majority of the beard off. And then I can re-lather the hair again and reapply the shave soap once more. That will give me a really good shave. But you just want to get the majority of the hair off first, which is the most important part. And then you can come back again and fix what you're doing. So yeah, and if you just tuned into the stream, thank you very much for watching. Yeah, I'm shaving my face with a razor that I made in a previous YouTube video. If you want to check that out on the page, you're most welcome to. And yeah. But yeah, shaving with a cutthroat razor, quite a traditional method of using. It's not a modern conventional razor. So the idea is I've yeah, made this guy, and it works really well. Just goes to show how sharp, good old-fashioned carbon steel can be, and how well it works. I'm just going to wipe that soap off my face. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is pull my cheek up like this, so I can get to the hair that's under my beard. Okay, I just slightly cut myself. That's okay. Hopefully that doesn't bleed too much. Whoops. Oh well, this does happen. I haven't cut myself yet on live stream, so of course I did it on my first live stream on YouTube, which is always good, always great. Yeah, that's not too bad. Could get a lot worse. Thing is, when you cut yourself with a razor, you don't even feel it. It just cuts so quickly. Just going to use my flannel there to stop that cutting, stop that bleeding anyway. Cool. And the reason why I did that was because I was talking too much, and I ended up not concentrating on what I was doing as much. It's so funny, it doesn't even hurt, it's just cutting really weird at the moment. Bleeding really weird. Okay, let's go on the other side of the face. If I can wipe some of the soap off. Okay. Cool. And it's really important to wipe that blade back off as well when you do a really big sweep like this. So just really slowly drop that down. And also I tried to take too much on that last pass that ended up slightly nicking my face, which is really annoying, but hey, that's okay. Cool. Yeah, so we're getting there very nicely, and you always got to cut in the direction of the in the direction that the hair's growing as well, because my beard kind of grows all sorts of directions, so sometimes it's really hard to do. Cool. That's why it's nicknamed cutthroat razor. Cool. Just about there. Everything gets so slippery and wet when you're doing this kind of stuff. Alright, another bit there. Okay. Keep wiping that blood off a little bit. So yeah, it just goes to show how sharp these guys are as well. And this is actually the first time I ended up cutting myself on live streams, so bound to happen. May as well let it happen now and move forward from that as well. So really carefully. Don't want to cut the other side of my chin. This goes to show how quick it is as well. You have to come back with a conventional razor usually and resharpen, or buy another razor. But these ones, you just need to strop them, look after them a little bit more, and keep them clean. And generally they outlast most conventional razors quite quickly. So yeah, so that's just about done. It's going to go underneath my neck now, which is the scary area. I just want to get the bulk of it off as well. I can always re-lather and come back again with the shave brush, and that'll let me kind of get a finer cut and a closer shave. This one's really just to get the majority of the facial hair off. What I also might really just quickly do is use a little bit more shave soap on around that neck area, just quickly, and that should just help lubricate that cut a little bit more. There we go. Nice. And if you are getting into using these kind of razors and using cutthroats and straight razors, they are really intimidating to start using, and obviously it's a razor sharp blade right next to your face, which is super scary. But as long as you practice and take your time and just take small amounts of hair off at a time, you'll find that it will work quite well. It's just about there, and just around the neck there. Cool. So I did just nick myself as well on the other side of my cheek a little bit. It's just there. It's actually weird because it's going very red, and it's just the lighting in this bathroom. My whole face looks quite red as well. So yeah, that's just about all of it. What I want to do now is just slowly take some of this off at the front. I usually use a pair of scissors otherwise, but just to show you can take this guy off really quickly. And I'm just trimming all the straggly hair really. And I'm pulling on it as well, which helps take the hair off a little bit easier. So yeah. And if you've just joined this stream, thanks very much for watching and checking out the video. This video is kind of I do these on Facebook as well as YouTube, and they always change. But the idea is that I'm shaving with a cutthroat razor that I've made, and the cutthroat razor was made from carbon steel. And if you are interested in seeing how I forged this guy and made it, you can check out that video on my page. Once you've checked that out on the page, you'll see how I made it. And I did another promotional video on how to shave. I didn't really have me explaining this as intimately with you guys, so you get to see how it's all going. But yeah, that's looking a little bit better, which is pretty good. Now I've got a little bit more hair under here. I want to come back and re-lather my face. So I'm just going to wipe the razor for a sec, and then I want to reapply this shave soap. So at the start of the video I had the shave soap, and I also had this little brush. You lather it up and you apply it to your face. Pretty simple, pretty much like that. So I'm going to reapply the stuff, and I'm going to come back for a finer shave. I don't know if I've got chat on or not, but you're most welcome to check that out. I haven't been checking the stream on how many people are watching and stuff, but just trying to show you guys how to use a razor, really. And also I'm using a razor that I've made, which is also quite special. If you are one of my existing customers and or clients that have purchased a razor from me, I'd love to hear from you guys. And yeah, suggest all sorts of crazy stuff. If you're just overseas, or if you're in New Zealand, or if you're doing anything, I'd love to hear that. So I'm going to come back through and do another pass really quickly, and just wipe some of that soap off my face. Same direction, but just really, really gently. Now I'm going to come back this way. Cool. I'm just going to watch out for that little cut bit where I nicked my skin before. That's when I come down and get this stuff over and done with first. And that's taking that guy off really easily. So yeah, this is really my first live stream on YouTube, especially cutting with a razor. It's quite I think it's quite intimidating. It's quite like, okay, try not to cut yourself. As soon as you do, you're like, okay, well, where do I go now? So yeah, but the idea is that I'm using this razor, shaving my face, and I have made this razor from a file, and file steel's really good. It's really good stuff. And if you haven't seen that video, you're most welcome to check that video out on my YouTube page. It's called Forging a Cutthroat Razor, and it's relatively informative, I think. Again, I'm still pretty new to this whole YouTube stuff. This is my first live stream, so I really want to keep it interesting. And if you can suggest comments on what you'd like to kind of see next, or yeah, just keep. I just lost connection there, sorry about that. Okay. Phone's going bizarre. I'm crazy at the moment. Okay, the last thing, I'm going to be taking some scissors and just snipping around my moustache. It's just actually easier to do it this way. I'm not taking all of the facial hair off. I want to keep a little bit on there, and yeah, it's just easier that way. If you were cutting everything off, you can just use the razor blade and cut right below your nose. There. Okay, so that's a little bit better. And I might just actually, after I say that, I'm going to take the razor and just take these little edges off, because there's a weird little bit of hair that likes growing there, and it's really irritating. So I think we'll get rid of that. And then on this side, cool. Now I just want to wash my face so that got all that soap off. I'm just going to pull the plug on the sink. Usually you can use like aftershaves and all sorts of other stuff. There you go, got the plug. Right. Really quickly rinse my face and get a towel and wash all the soap off. So yeah, that's pretty much me shaving with my cutthroat razor. I really hope you enjoyed this week's video, and I'd like you to tune into these, you know, in the future. Really cool. Thank you so much for watching. You have an awesome day. Yes.